Okay, it's a new day and we are installing cooling shrouding on our rebuilt Porsche engine. If you'll recall last episode, I did talk about this little oil line going to the oil filter canister. I mentioned it's not quite right because it doesn't look like the original one in terms of plating. But I did also mention I got one that was really not right, and I want to show that to you. So interestingly, it has a Porsche logo on it, and it was called Genuine Porsche, but as you can see, does that look anything at all like the original? No, not even close. Actually, this one goes underneath there. I'm just holding it up to the original hose. Also note that, as I mentioned before, there are no fittings at all on this thing. In fact, the pipes aren't even flared. So I chose not to try to go this route. And the other thing I'd say is that it does look like they tried to do Yellow Cat on this one, which they clearly didn't do on that one. But I wasn't going to try to match the flare of the factory hose and hope that it didn't drip oil when they don't match. So anyway, like I said, ask for the picture first. That is going to become trash. So let's talk about installing the shrouding. So the order I've done this in, and I'm not complete. I'm done about around to that side. The order I did this in, as I mentioned in the last episode, cylinder shrouding first, front and rear, both sides. Keep it loose, until you get all the other pieces in. Did that first. Went with the fuel pump shroud next, and I did have to remove the fuel line. There it is, just to get access. So if you have little fingers, this is where it's going to finally pay off for you, unless you became a dentist, in which case it's already paid off for you. But this was not really an easy job. In fact, what I ended up doing was putting a screw, I'll show you. I ended up putting a screw in the little, come here buddy, in the little teeth like that, and then I held that back in here, and I kind of wiggled it back in there and got the screwdriver and managed to get it in. That one right there was a pain. There's multiple pains. I'll show you the biggest one, and I'll tell you, expect profanity. I would recommend, if you have kids, send them far away before you try this job, unless you've already taught them all the good words. So that one next, kind of just loose in there. At that point, oops, I put in the this under shroud here, which has some threads for the cylinder shroud above. So you can see it's held in by that lower exhaust nut, which for this job I just pulled it out because it was already in there so that I could get the exhaust. I'll make sure it all fit right. But so that's held in, all good. Everybody in their place, everybody happy. So this side, same deal. Shroud first. In this case, I put this underpiece on so that I could secure the cylinder shroud a little bit, because again, there's a little threaded piece underneath here for that cylinder screw. I then put the dipstick / breather hose piece in, and it just simply screws into the pulley metal and another screw in the back. So this is where things got, this is where the profanity happens, right here. There's two pieces I'll show you on the other side. There's these two pieces that go up against the end of the cylinder shroud. They're important. They keep the air contained within this piece so it gets blown down through the cylinder fins and the head fins. So the way I found this easiest to do, and that's easy, I said easy, yes, not easy. I put this one in first, and you can see it is a bolt, not a screw, because it is going into, remember, a vertical surface, so it's supposed to be a bolt. I put that one in first. It holds these two pieces together, and then I started screwing around with trying to get the hole in this one and the hole in this one aligned with the threaded hole in the cylinder head. Ditto over here. This one I need to clean up because you can see a little dust. You might call it cheating. I call it using a Dremel tool to make the hole bigger and therefore not cussing as much. So that's the way I did that. And then round back again, just I'm going to install next this piece, because in there, just like the one in the front, see there's a threaded piece in there for that hole right there. Ditto for this side, there's the piece. And finally, I'm gonna go on this side and hope, because of my vast experience now, that my neighbors hear a lot less cussing. We'll see. And that's the deal. So the way this goes, I'll install the back shroud piece over there. It's on the bottom of the table over there. I'm not going to install the front piece. You can see where the pulley goes. And the reason I'm not doing that yet is because I'm not going to do that until the engine's in the car, because this is not a Beetle. No matter what kind of jokes Volkswagen people make, there is no wasted space in the back. It is a tight fit. Same reason I'm not going to install the generator pulley and nut yet. I mean, I want every millimeter of clearance. So that's it. Let's see if I can get the rest of this done today. If so, I'll take a parting shot of it, and then we'll talk to you next time. Okay, now we are looking an awful lot like a Porsche engine. So, contrary to what I said before, my vast experience on the other side of the engine did not make this side any easier. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This is kind of a pain in the ass. I'm talking these two pieces and this piece. Again, as on the other side, it's easiest to get this in first. It is for me. That's just me. But once that's in, kind of holding these two pieces, then you can kind of wrestle these two and align the holes with this piece. They all go together. All right. So when done, aside from cracking open a celebration beer, because you certainly deserve it, get a big ass screwdriver. Size matters. Don't let anybody tell you different. And then just go around and tighten everything, because better to have it loose earlier when you're trying to get all the pieces put together. Definitely easier for adjusting. Don't forget the hex head bolts and all the vertical surfaces. Make sure they're tight. To do that job, you just need a 10mm wrench of your choosing. And that's it. So next time, next time is going to be fun because our freshly restored, I'm not going to say rebuilt, I'm going to say restored from 356 carburetor rescue, our Solexes are going to go on. New throttle shaft bushings. If you ever have an engine that you just cannot get the thing to run right, you've screwed with everything, timing, adjusting the carburetors, whatever, it's extremely likely if it has Solex 40s on it, 40 P2s, that the throttle shaft bushing has gotten opened up too much. So grab your throttle shaft bushing and give it a little shake, or actually, I'm sorry, grab your throttle shaft itself, give it a shake. Insert joke there. And if you're feeling any movement, odds are that the throttle shaft bushings are shot. And if they are, you got a vacuum leak, and no amount of adjusting anything on this engine is going to do anything. It's time to get them rebuilt. So that'll be next. They'll look pretty. That'll be cool. We'll get that all hooked up. We'll install the oil filler. It's sitting right over there. A little black thing with a screw top. I could put it on today, but you know, hey, why have all the fun in one day? And then muffler install, and that's it. From there it goes right in there. All right, until next time.